We are Friday, the 8th of December 2023, and today is not just any other regular day. Today's a very special day because today we get to celebrate the very first anniversary, or is it the book anniversary of my book Glow in the Dark that was published with Hachette UK. It feels so surreal to sit here with you and to share this pretty epic moment because it took over 3 years to write, and there are many moments in this journey where I just felt like throwing in the towel, where I thought that this was never going to happen, riddled with self-doubt as many people do on this creative process of birthing a book into the world. And I cannot express enough how grateful I am for all your support over the last 12 months, 365 days. It came out on the 8th of December in the UK, but it didn't come out until April 2023 around the world. So I'm still going to celebrate the birth in the UK because this is where the book was written and where I actually published it first. But, I was reflecting back on the journey, and it's quite hard to imagine, but, from the book launch that we did in Angel, North London, which was just amazing. I actually wanted to write a post about it afterwards, just the amount of love that I felt in that room that day of everybody came together from clients to friends or clients turned friends. It was just such a special day. I wish I could relive that day right now because it was just that special, because it was such a crazy day. I remember that morning we broke the internet, literally on Amazon. Thought that there were so many orders coming through in the morning that I thought there were a bunch of bots attacking the website. So they shut down my sales page, which was, as you can imagine, a total disaster from a sales perspective, but it was also a funny story to tell at the book launch, where I ended up going on stage and sharing that we managed to hit top 10 bestsellers list in 3 different categories on Amazon, from entrepreneurship to business communications. And it was just a fun night. It was just amazing. And then some of the things that happened next were just kind of mind-blowing. I've had the likes of Nir Eyal or Scott Harrison or Sarah Knight, who wrote some amazing testimonials in the book, and many other people since. I've received countless messages and DMs of people who read the book and how it impacted you and tagged me on social media, which has been amazing. The craziest one was when I ended up winning the category of Best Self-Development Business Book of the Year at the Business Book Awards 2023, which still to this day feels like totally crazy. I remember sitting there, I was my partner Julie, and on the table with Donna, who's also a client turned friend, and then they said out the name Glow in the Dark by Mark Leruste, and I was just like time stops. It was such an honor. It really, really was. And I think the crazy thing is also seeing people reading it from Melbourne to New York. So I've had people posting pictures of themselves at bookstores in Melbourne, or people in front of the stock exchange in New York. And I've been invited to go and talk about this topic of the power of stories and how, personal narrative based marketing is a super powerful way to connect with the audience and inspire, action and build trust. And I don't have any big fancy words or anything like that. I just want to say thank you. Genuinely, thank you to everyone who believed in this project, everybody who was involved in this project. I've named you in the back of the book in my acknowledgements. You know who you are. But I want to thank you, reader, who has had the courage to not just get a copy of the book, but actually dive into the content and then share your stories. I've had people come back to me saying, I've used your methodology and your simple 3-step framework in some of my communications at work or with clients, and it's been a game changer. And it is slightly surreal to see something that you've built, something that you've put out into the world and seeing it into the wild and seeing it take a life of its own. On the back of this book, I launched Storycast after the popular demand of so many people asking me, can you dive deeper into this content? Can you help us unpack our stories further? How do I know which parts of my story are relevant according to the audience I'm speaking to? So I designed a program and I've launched it on storycast.co. That feels completely crazy that 12 months ago that wasn't even on my radar. And now we have a fully fledged online masterclass that you can dive into at your own pace. Or if you want to go and be part of a group cohort program, you can also join us as we're running those sporadically throughout the year. And of course, I've had the privilege and honor to continue my work as a one-to-one facilitator of stories, where I've had some incredible clients, and you'll be listening and hearing from one of them, Daniel, coming up shortly as we finalize the touches on the video. But that's just been an honor beyond imagination of being able to sit by the side of business leaders, entrepreneurs, founders, CEOs, to unpack their stories and share them in such a way that people notice and pay attention. But more than that they can connect on a deeper level to who they are and to who they're speaking to to create moments of magic. Duke Stump, a friend and mentor, said it best: I don't believe in magic, but I believe in creating the environment for magic to happen. And I think no better words could be expressed by what I believe happens when you start unpacking and shaping and owning your story fully. So as I always say, if you knew how powerful your story was, you wouldn't be sitting on it. And the story that's going to change your life isn't the story that you're going to hear, it's the story you're going to share. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for this opportunity to share this book with you. And if you want to go over to Amazon and leave a review, that'd be great. It's one of the fastest way to reach more people, which means we can impact even more lives. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can you imagine Glow in the Dark is 1 year old today? That feels totally crazy, but I'm holding this book, so it must be true. And again, if you have a copy of my book, if you've been listening to my book, wherever you are in the world, please tag me, let me know. That would be the greatest gift you could give me today, is to know that this book has not landed on deaf ears and that someone somewhere out there needed to hear this book or read this book to know that they're not alone, because that is the absolute genesis of this book and what I want you to get out of it, because someone out there needs to hear your story to not feel alone. I'm going to be catching up on some more content in the coming weeks, which I'm really excited about. But if for whatever reason we don't get to hang out, if I don't get to hear from you, if you don't get to hear from me, have an amazing holiday and festive season ahead. And I hope that 2024 is the year that you have the courage to go out there and start sharing your story, because your story deserves the big stage. And there is a message inside your story that someone needs to hear today. Don't wait, get on it. You can go and get a copy of my book. If you haven't had a chance to get it, you can go over to glowinthedarkbook.com and get a copy of my book. It's available on Amazon and all the great bookstores and independent bookstores. And I always say shop local when possible, because it does make a big difference. And I know they stocked it in Piccadilly, Waterstones, and some other really cool bookstores that I've seen around. So that's just been one of the craziest things, actually, to walk in with my kids into a bookstore in the UK and see my book on the shelf and tell them, like, that's what daddy does. But of course, they're more interested in Peppa Pig books next to it. So, that's what they go to. But, win some, lose some. I'll see you next time. From the bottom of my heart, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I still have to hold this. And I remember the first day I held it when I was getting super emotional in Hachette's headquarters in London. But it just feels still as special today as it did a year ago. And that's thanks to you. Thank you so much. In case you're wondering, there might be a book number 3 in the making. Maybe. Shh. I still have lots of work to do around this book, but it is in the making. If you want to find out more, drop a comment below and I might let you know what I'm working on. Until next time, see you soon, and your story matters.